Welcome to the Why Music Podcast, the music conversations you want. My name is Pascanel. We have with us co-host
Mikey
on bass
and Will on keys.
We got two keyboard players and a bass player. Don't hate, because your band ain't this tight. Today we're going to be talking about. We've talked about the definition of music. Today we're going to be talking about what is a melody, what is a harmony, and what is a rhythm. Because a lot of times we know technically in our heads what it is because we do it all the time, but we don't have a proper definition for it if somebody asks us.
Yeah.
Because last time we said music was a study or science of sound in relation to melody, harmony, and rhythm, and a lot of people never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
People was just like, music is the sound of the cars and the birds and the trees and the wind and everything like that. But it's actually a science. It's something you study, and there's different elements to it, which are melody, harmony, rhythm, and those are the basic elements of it, but there's a lot more to go on to it. Everything else kind of sits on top of those 3 or 4 elements there. And today we're talking about melody. And, what do you think is a melody, Mike?
I can't think of a definition off the top of my head, but I think it's kind of hard to explain. Because the same thing you said, I could hear it, I could identify with it when I hear it, when I'm playing it, but like explaining it is kind of like different.
Yeah, it's something you naturally know, but
you
can't always explain.
Yeah.
How about you, Will?
I hope I'm not wrong in this, but I'm gonna think more so of a musical phrase.
A musical phrase?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like even regardless of I don't think you need chords to make a musical phrase. You just need to have what we consider a melodic line, but a line to say what it is that you're trying to say.
Okay.
Musically.
Okay. I would agree with what both of you guys said, because that's what I would have said until I met my teacher, and he's like, those things make sense too, but a melody, simply put, is when you play one note after the other. You can create. That's how you create a melody. You create one note after the other. You can create. This is the basic formula for a melody. You can play anything. You can play chromatically. You can play diatonically. You can play any kind of way you want. In any key or any sense. In another way, he said, there are key signatures, but there's no key, because you can create anything in any kind of sense as long as you have a melodic line that you created, playing one note after the other, and then you add chords to it.
Yeah.
Anything could make sense. You know what I mean? So, his definition was a melody is when you play one note after another. You create a melody. It could be 2 notes. It could be 3 notes. It could even be one note, like the Loneliest Monk's famous song. What's the song again? Well, he's just playing that one note.
One note samba?
Yeah, one note samba.
No, that's not.
That's not the Loneliest Monk, but
one note samba is like that too. But Monk had this one thing where he was. Is it rhythm? No.
Remember from the first podcast, I don't remember names.
Yeah.
That one?
Nah, I think that's a.
I know that's another one.
Yeah, that's.
I guess. Okay.
Yeah, but what he was doing is he's playing this one note, and then he's adding chords. On the left hand, and it was like, this dude just created a song, but the chords changes are justifying that one note.
Yeah.
That's a melody. Should we go into harmony and rhythm today, or should we just go into Donna Lee like you? what he was playing earlier. Just stick to a melody.
It's up to you, but
I mean, you could probably like give a brief. Like,
Okay,
thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
that's true. A melody is when you play one note at a time,
Yeah.
one after another. A harmony is when you play two or more notes at the same time,
Yeah.
right? And rhythm, rhythm gets confused with the beat a lot, or the count.
Yeah.
The beat is really just your count is 1, 2, 3, 4, or
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That's your beat. But the rhythm is whatever you play around that beat. Like I
Yeah.
could be doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a rhythm.
Yeah.
You're creating a rhythm on top. Was that loud enough? Right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that's a rhythm.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm creating a melody. But rhythm doesn't have to just be with a melody.
Yeah.
So rhythm can be with harmony. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So that's another, that's the rhythm. So basically, you create the songs and stuff you create.
Yeah.
The melody is like a rhythm you play on top of the beat.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know if you guys, if it doesn't make sense in the comment, let us know. It just gives us more stuff to come up on YouTube with.
Yeah.
More episodes. But that's simply it. Melody is when you play one note at a time. Harmony is when you play two notes, two or more notes at the same time.
Yeah.
And like, again, my teacher probably wouldn't agree with this, but you got 10 fingers. You can play 10. You can play 10 different notes, and you would be creating a harmony, right?
Yeah.
It may not make sense, but
Yeah.
as many notes as you can fit in where it makes sense or whatever
Yeah.
is a harmony. And rhythm is what you play around the beat. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like clap 1, 2, 3 for me, right?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right? So I'm gonna clap something else, and I'm gonna create a rhythm on top of that, right? Right?
Yeah.
So again, the count is your beat, right? And the rhythm is whatever else you decide to play
on top of it.
Like, especially if you're soloing or something. Like you could go crazy with that.
Yeah.
You could create it's limitless how many different things you could create.
Yeah.
Once you have a set beat. Rhythm is ridiculous. But let's get back to this Donna Lee. So today we're gonna focus on melody with Donna Lee, which a lot of musicians have issues with, myself being one.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy piece to play. Maybe for a guy like Will, because he's making faces right now. He's making faces right now like, yo, come on.
No faces. No faces.
I play this with my eyes closed, man.
No, I can play it subconsciously. I cannot play it consciously.
But yeah, so Will is going to demonstrate for us by using the melody for Donna Lee. We only have one book and since it's a little bit far, I can't really comp behind them for it, but like we're gonna let Will do his thing. We're using a fake book, by the way, so if you buy any fake book, it should be in there. It's a standard. And Will also has his own version of it because he's like, this fake book is fake. We're gonna let his genius shine.
Sorry, I'm reading it verbatim. I'm trying to. But. Yeah, that's what sight reading is. It's not always going to go perfectly. Yeah, that doesn't look right. I'm going to keep playing.
Okay. What's you can say whatever you want, man. If it's not right,
All
tell
right.
us what's
So,
wrong.
One thing I've noticed in some real books or some fake books is that when they write the melodies, it's not the melodies of what was recorded. So then it becomes a discrepancy issue of what is correct versus what's not correct. So is the recording correct, or is the material that everyone now will learn from correct? So I have no dog in this fight. I don't pick which. I just go with whatever is done.
I would say the recording's correct because that's who created the piece, right? If Charlie Parker created something, he played it.
That is true, but if one person made it, even if it was Charlie Parker that did make it, granted, yes, that is his. However, if someone transcribed this and wrote this out slightly different, or not even that they wrote it differently, it's just as we swing our eighth notes, some people don't swing their eighth notes, so they don't swing them enough, or there's not enough to it.
Okay.
So then what's written could very well be different. But my issue here is not that. My issue here is that the melody, some of the notes are not the same.
Okay.
Just a thought, just an observation as I read it.
With what measure is this?
I'd have to go through the whole piece to figure that out. But,
Okay. All right.
And I'd have to try to remember the recording now. Now, I wish we could, as the budget progresses, we'll try to have things side by side, because I would perfectly play the recording and let people hear it and play what's written, and they'll be able to hear the difference.
That's true, yeah. Super chats.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
subscribe, please.
Yes. Like and leave a comment. And if you disagree with what Will just said, let us know.
No problem.
Makes life interesting. Okay, so now you're playing the
I'm just looking over the chords as well.
the chords. Okay.
Which seem to be correct, or correct enough. But remember, I only have one hand free. Because we need music stands.
Yeah, we need a lot of things.
As long as the other running.
This is like ultimate bootstrapping, right?
Yeah.
It's more than most people have. We actually have a very
That's
impressive
true.
system.
That's true.
We're just
that's
making
true.
it. We're working as we go.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Won't he do it?
Well, the chords seem to be about right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So the melody, right? Let's take like the first 16 bars, right?
That seems correct. I remember that being. But what I'm seeing here is. And not.
Okay. So they play that second note.
So yeah, the second
half
note
step
as well as
higher.
the next one.
Okay.
But what I see here is.
Okay.
That's what I remember. What I see here is. Sorry, I'm trying to analyze it while explaining it to you guys. that being that. That's correct. I remember it being that. But instead of going back to the E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I remember it being G, C. But instead I see what's written here is B. Which it might be on the recording actually. That's correct. It's just a couple things here and
Just
there.
a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so how would you describe this melody on a scale from 1 to 10?
Oh, as far as where melodies go, where to play stuff.
Well, let's do this, right? Let's say first scale from 1 to 10, difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Second scale from 1 to 10, let's say beauty, because beauty matters. You know, now
Mhm.
they're trying to throw some stuff at us in society. On everybody's beautiful and beauty matters. There's a standard, you know what I mean? So you know beauty when you see it. That's why you turn around and you're like, yo. And some other people you don't turn around for. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how beautiful they think they are, right?
Oh, or you turn around, turn back around.
Yeah. Right? Mona Lisa.
Bad example.
That's right? Okay, we're gonna do 1, right? From 1 to 10, difficulty. From 1 to 10, beauty. From 1 to 10, how innovative it is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do those 3. Let's start with difficulty. Now, Will, I think this is a difficult piece to play because
I think it's a psycho.
Sounds like it.
It's a psycho. It's a psycho.
It just sounds like it, bro.
All right. When learning sheet music or learning how to read, the more diverse, in my opinion, the rhythms are on the melody or on the sheet music that you're reading, the more difficult.
Okay.
This isn't as diverse as what people think. I know they're intimidated because of what it is, or maybe the speed of how fast Donna Lee is played.
Yeah, the speed too. Yeah.
But other than a couple triplet 8th notes, the rest of it is mainly 8th notes, a splash of 16th notes, and in between you have rest. So it's about the space. So looking at it, if you take it slowly, or if you subdivide, it's a pretty easy song. Still a beautiful song, beautiful melody, beautiful melody.
Yeah.
Like for what it is, I think that's really on a 10. But as far as difficulty, 6.
6.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Forget about what everybody else says about Donnelly. This is just your own opinion, your own thought on it.
Yeah, I think once you hear it, it sounds difficult. But I think once you look at it and break it down, measure by measure, it gets easier.
I would really have to sit down and try it. I see what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
Like when you break something down, like you get it piece by piece, then it make
I mean, you do that with any song.
With any song, but it's like, for me, I'm thinking more like on the technical aspect with playing it out. Like my hand dexterity or that not being used to playing anything that complicated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's like, okay, this is a learning curve.
Yeah.
At the very least, this is like going to be a learning curve because like, if I'm playing if I'm playing this by myself, I have to be playing the chord changes while playing this crazy up and down everywhere. Yeah. See, for you, it's do 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 do. So for me and him, it's like you gotta play the chord and the melody on top, right?
Mm.
And if you really want to go ham on it, you play the melody on both hands.
Yeah.
And then people don't understand. Being a keyboard player is not the easiest thing in the world, because there's different ways you gotta learn this.
Yeah.
Because then you do the walking bass on the left hand, and then you're still doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you see this is where my head is going when I'm thinking difficult, because I'm like, I have to learn this and more than just chord and melody, because I play keys. If I'm in any situation, I don't have a bass player, I gotta cover everything. You see what I mean?
I see what you mean.
You just have to have that kind of, depending on what room you're in.
Yeah.
You can't be Mr. Stale and just keep playing it the exact same way all the time. You gotta be able to switch it up as a keyboard player. So you gotta go comping, what do you call it? Walking bass, both hand melodies. You know what I'm saying? Like what else? And then you got a solo on it. That's that
part.
You can't play this and not solo. See, so it's like you got that. That's I think for me, this is what makes this even more difficult, because it's already built like a solo.
Yeah, because bebop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you gotta
come up with something else.
You gotta come up with something else on top of this amazing thing that's been written.
Yeah.
That's already a solo and it's all right.
Yeah.
So now you're just kind of like, this thing is hard.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna play a solo on this, I'm probably gonna go Thelonious Monk and you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. It's just a trick, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm not advanced enough to top this.
Yeah.
Like what he's, and I think
you are, but okay.
Well,
I mean, it's gonna take time, but like,
I think I've seen this thing where this guy was learning he was learning a classical piece.
Mm-hmm.
He said it took him 6 months to learn the whole thing. And I forgot how many pages it was. I was like, 6 months? He's like, yeah. 6 months on one piece of music. He didn't play nothing else. For 6 months, he had to learn this to get it right. I think this is one of those type of studies. I'm not gonna say 6 months, but like you gotta really sit down and like almost ignore everything else for a good time and just kind of be like, yo, I gotta get this in all these different ways, so you can really sink in. Because I think, if this is my opinion, I think a song like Donna Lee, if you get Donna Lee down in your hand as a keyboard player and all the different ways you have to play it, you should learn how to play it with the walking bass, the comping on the left hand, and play the melody with both hands, and then walking bass solo, comping solo, solo with both hands. If you get a song like that down, like where you just like, you don't even think about it, you could do all those variations together. Forget about it. You're done. Like, what other song is gonna stop you? Like, what's really gonna get in your way?
Yeah.
Maybe some Art Tatum, Oscar Peterson stuff, but they don't have any songs written like that. It's just their solo that's so amazing on top of whatever. So it's like, there's certain songs I think if you get them, you study them in a certain way like that, you're unstoppable, man. You're not gonna be scared of any other song. So Donna Lee is a perfect example. Like, I'm honestly scared of Donna Lee. But
I think
I'm less scared now with you guys.
Okay.
I'm less scared now. But I know a lot of guys who are like, yo, they're going to ask me to play down the lead. Like, when you go on the stage, you're like, oh, man, I hope they don't ask to play down the lead. Because
Donnelly is no different than Happy Birthday.
I don't know about that.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
Woo!
Wow.
This has been said by the child classical prodigy.
No.
This
Most of these
classical
skills that I'm
prodigy
using
be
now,
like, ah, this nothing, man.
most of the skills I use now require nothing from when I was a kid. And with the exception of the discipline of tackling a problem. The problem. All right. You see the phrase, you know that's a phrase. And even then, now it's better than it was back in the days. Back in the days, you didn't have the recording. Or if you had the recording, it wasn't even in tune. So now you can go to YouTube and hear what it sounds like and mimic that. Not to say that we're not trying to read as well, because we should try to read. But the thing is, when you're looking at the reading, even that's pretty simple because it's a triplet eighth note into a set of eighth notes. And that's it, nothing else. So, that's the phrase. Even if you don't go any further than this, take that phrase. Listen to that phrase. Read the phrase. Problem 1. Now you got the melody. Problem 2. Voice comping.
You know what? I'm not gonna fight him on that. You know why? Because over the years I've learned, like when somebody's at a certain level of something, and they say something's easy, and you're not quite at that level, you're like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And then when you get to a level that's close to it, you start to see, hey, some of this, like you start to see it the way they see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like, as you're growing, things you thought were difficult, and now if you're thrown into it, and then you have to do it, and then you start thinking, you start doing it, and then you look back, you're like, yo, and you don't realize when you just started doing it.
Yeah.
Like you, and then you look back, you're like, I used to think this was hard.
Like walking or riding a bike or driving.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've learned that. I was just like, yo, there's a lot of things I thought I couldn't do. And when you just throw yourself into it, or life just throws you into it, all kinds of different things, you start doing it. Like there's something in you that just adapts to it. You start doing it.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard at first, like, but you know, I gotta do this. When you know you gotta do something, it has to become easy. There's no choice about it. Like, so at some point, it could be years later, I look back and I'm like, yo, I had so much trouble doing this back in the day. Like, what was I so scared about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now, that's what just came to me when you said that. I was like, okay, maybe I just have to grow. You know, I just have to grow into it, because if Will is saying it, it must be true, because if it's easy for him.
It's easy. It's easy by concept. It's easy by concept. No matter what page you take out of the real book, no matter what song, whether it's popular or not popular, you tackle it the same way.
Yeah.
You tackle it the same way, you'll find that it's much easier than you think. Unless you're put directly on the spot and you have to sight read this piece right now, then that's a different level. However, even then, depending on the piece, it's easier than most people think.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of do it on a weekly basis.
Oh man. Okay.
No, now I prepare. Now I make sure I prepare. In my more immature phases, I would just rely heavily on the sheet music and say, whatever's written, I'm going to play this right here, especially if I have a band behind me, and go with it.
Okay. Okay, so we got a 6 on the level of from 1 to 10
difficulty.
On difficulty.
No, beauty.
Beauty.
10.
Beauty a 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10. It's pretty recognizable for me. I don't know if that counts towards beauty, but like I think the complexity makes it part of beauty. Um, yeah, it's pretty identifiable. Once I hear it, I know automatically. You know,
Yeah.
it's Donnelly. But yeah, I'll give it a 10.
So I think beauty for me is just something that's naturally relatable.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
you just, you know, if you see a flower, you're just like, okay, that's beautiful.
yeah,
You don't have to think about it. You just see a flower, it's beautiful.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And this song, I think is beautiful because it's melodic in a sense.
Yeah.
I have to break down what melodic means. But like it has a certain openness to it, I would say. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like it's not dark.
Mm,
It's not too bright.
yeah.
It's just like it's a mix of the two, where like you could feel there's tension, but there's like a release,
Yeah.
and you could just hear that. It's just
Mm,
like at first it's that that's kind of tense,
yeah.
like you know
Mm-hmm.
that just kind of like opens
Yeah.
releases all that tension, and you're just like, oh, okay. And then when he starts doing the arpeggios going up on the harmony,
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, oh, it just kind of opens up in front of you like a flower.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what I think is beautiful. And I'm struggling not to compare it to other music that I know. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's environment. When I'm growing up, when you think beautiful music, your first notion is classical. I think
That's your opinion.
you know, like your head goes
Yeah.
into like the Four Seasons and all that kind of stuff, and you're like,
Mhm.
oh man, this is like the epitome of beauty.
Yeah.
But like when you think about jazz, I don't think people think too much about beauty when it comes to jazz.
Mm,
But there's a lot of beauty in jazz, especially the stuff like Duke Ellington's,
yeah.
stuff like the big bands, Miles Davis stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different.
Is it like a different type of beauty? I don't know. It's just
Beauty is subjective, so it's just based off of the one person. For me, I've always found certain things more beautiful than others. Blue and Green on Miles Davis on Kind of Blue, I think is one of the most beautiful songs ever composed. Bill Evans on piano right there in the beginning, and that's not, and the melody is there, but it's nothing complex. Yet it is one of the most beautiful things you'll hear.
Yeah.
And I don't think about classical there. There's some things on classical where it's like, okay, that's cool. Like, and I think it's pretty, but I don't think it's as beautiful as Kind of Blue.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as beautiful as beautiful. Also, like I said, it's subjective. Like Charles Mingus, Goodbye Pork Pie Hat. I think that's I know it's very melancholy. I know it's very sad.
Yeah.
But I think that's a beautiful melody right there as well.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of different ways for things to be beautiful.
I hear compa, and I'm like, depending on the melody, I'm enjoying it as well. I think that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
My favorite compa song is Parlons et Femmes le Concert.
Oui.
Oh man. And I know I'm gonna get ragged on this for some people, but like, you know, I'm not a big Mateli fan or whatever, but like that song hits me. It just hits you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or there's the other one, I Don't Care.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, like you said, you know, it's different things can make something beautiful. It's not always one thing.
Yeah.
I was about to reminisce.
Well, go ahead. What?
No. Because we don't talk about beatings anymore. So
About beatings?
Yeah, because I was quoting the song. So you know, I don't care. I don't. And shout out to my I guess I consider my Haitian godparents, but my church family is, or we were, extremely close. So like you couldn't, your elders could discipline the children, didn't matter who.
Yeah.
So I just I wanted to hear all the stuff, everything that was cool that we wasn't supposed to listen to. So I'm hearing listening to Sweet Mickey and like, why are you listening to that? Because I like music. I mean, they don't understand that as a kid. It's like you like what you want to hear music. I don't care what it is, and even if it has the cursing or it has stuff in it, it's like I kind of still want to listen to this. But I understand it now, especially being closer to elder myself.
Yeah, being a father.
I understand it completely. Yeah, that was all. It was a flashback. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to go into harmony or rhythm right now. We might do that in another episode. You guys let us know if this was of any value to you. If you learned anything, if you want us to go into harmony and melody, rhythm, or anything else, anything you would like to learn or you have any questions about, just put it in the comments. Let us know, and we'll take a look at it. Again, right now, how many we got? Like 3 subscribers, and they're all sitting in the room. So,
help us out. We need to work on getting a producer behind the scenes as well. Yeah.
Let us know. We could talk about comping. We could talk about walking bass. We could talk about. Will is really good at stride piano. You know what I mean? Anything you want to learn, we're here for you. So just let us know, and we'll put something up for you. Thank you again for watching and for listening to our Why Music podcast, the music conversations you want to have, and we are sponsored by Musicians Local.
Yes.
If you have any need for musicians or you want to hire musicians for anything, just check out their websites, musicianlocal.com, and they're awesome. They're awesome for weddings, funerals, church, any event that you're having.
All of it.
Yeah, they'll provide you a band, a singer, or anything. Actually, we're part of that crew as well. So you might see us at your event if you call Musicians Local and ask for somebody to play at your event. Thank you again. Have a great night, a great day wherever you are, and we'll see you on next episode.
Take care.